Facilities. For the record, those present this are myself, Commissioner Chaco, and Commissioner Sanchez. This is a work session for the Guam Power Authority. And John Benavente is here with us. John, the floor is yours.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, everyone. We have GPS 4 resolutions
Sure.
for your consideration for approval at next week's meeting. First resolution, if I may, is FY 2025-01 for the first one for fiscal year 2025. And this is related to authorize the solicitation of a performance management track for GPA combustion turbine power plants. GPA currently has a contract that will expire in February of 2026, and so the process takes a while to go through. Our hope we can get approval from yourself and the PUC by February and put it out for bid. So we can have a contract in place by October. The combustion turbines, as we know, have had a PMC now for the past 10 years. It was an initial 5-year contract plus 5-year extension, and TEMES has been the contractor for that. They have been PMC for, of course, the Dedru CT1 and 2, Jigu CT, Machechi CT, and at times assisted us with TEMES. We are including TEMES in this project. And our contract is going up for a three-year base with 2 1-year options. No? Considering that again, the machines will of course have to be maintained and may have to be zeroed out in some circumstances to be able to get us over the next the rest of this decade. So at some point, as we get more and more renewables and other things, we decide which are we going to keep. But the original intent was to retire some of these units. However, because we can see the military growth and its impact on the community, and anticipate will be growing around the anywhere 4% or so per year over the next several years, we're going to need the power plants to as reserve in case Okudu is down and to meet the peak generation capacity required over the next several years. So the as shown, the contract really actually over the past 5 years, in the last 5 years, have been about 8.4 million for O&M, about 1.6 per year average. That's everything O&M, PMC, and all of that. And we have spent about 13 million on rehabilitation. But if you go ever since Cabers 3 and 4 went down, we've been using these machines, then the COVID, and then the delay on the Ukudu power plant, which was supposed to come online in 2022. And here we are now online and commissioning in 2025. So the combustion turbines have been less efficient, cost more fuel, but they provide power and avoid load shedding. So again, the PUC has approved similar condition. Any other way to try and maintain these machines has been very difficult, if not almost impossible. No? Having to bid for parts and materials and all of that, never knowing what you need. So the PMC program has worked very well for the combustion turbine. And the commission, and we've seen the PMC fee. It's only been around 700,000 per year. So it's very, very reasonable, as we have seen in the past.
These machines are also easy to maintain, John, because they're very simple.
Yep.
They're just strict combustion turbines, right?
Right, but there you do have to have the the hot gas sections and all of the different things, and then you also have to. They have hours where you have to overhaul the generator and all of that, and some of that is coming to bear.
They're still for 13. If you spent $13 million in the last contract,
Yeah.
you're talking 80 megawatts. 4 separate units, all 20 megawatts apiece.
Yep.
That's 80 megawatts, $13 million. I know that doesn't include the overhaul of the generator or that stuff, but just the management part of that, not a bad deal.
Yeah. And again, even though they're not the most efficient, but they're only short-term use.
Right.
No?
Peakers.
Yeah, you're not paying big bucks for an efficient machine, but like some people, you're paying big bucks for you're getting a thing, right? So yeah, so again, And you know, the record really, these machines, you know, were built by small men back in 2000 and what, in 1993.
Yeah, here you store, huh?
So, no, what, 30 years. So, you know, the other point is they're doing it is a pretty cool, you know, machine. They're the machines. And they're once the surface through and serve engineer for space. There is an underground line directly from there to the Air Force Base. And actually comes all the way around to Honolulu and then all the way to the hospital and to Kukudu and Tungo, all of that together. So I mean, of course, Kukudu will come in and make maybe a significant, but you know, I mean, you always that option to come through the.
I appreciate that there's when those machines are involved, that's kind of a problem, right? So let me go into our units, safety and teamwork challenges.
Yeah, they're more efficient, but again, they're more finicky sometimes. By the way, for the record, I think the team here was involved in that kind of putting bringing in those units back in 1993. But I recall yourselves, the children, and Mr. Sanchez were on PUC.
We did the right thing.
And it came to a point where you know we had to ship the machine to get it to one to get it in time because we were sharing because the book was coming. Again, the numbers are similar. There's a growth coming and all of that. How much? No, I'm seeing somewhere on the 4% because military growth.
100 megs. Like
100 megs, that's almost
That's
7%.
because there's 17 times.
So,
Checks out there.
Anyway, good job. Okay.
that's those
Questions? Yeah.
So the 2.4 million in fixed management fees, that's over the 3-year plan? 3 year.
of the pipe cut.
Oh, sorry. So 1 base year,
Yeah, 3 point.
or 3 base, and 2 year extensions.
It's really the first year. Oh, I'm sorry, you're asking about the new expected cost. Yeah, that's the 3 year base. This is about 7,000 times 3 years. Huh?
That's for 3 year base, not 5.
That's right.
What are you sending out with their own staff is covering?
No, it's kind of
So it's being
We've always been PMC the past 5 years, and what we that we get management expertise plus engineers that help us go to the project. Also help us in troubleshooting the machines whenever there's issues, and then they help identify. They do the preventive maintenance. What do
They
you call
do
it?
it or they schedule it? Who
No,
actually-
they
physically
schedule
do
and
it?
bring in people when they work for them. They determine when necessary and do all of that.
Yeah. So what are our direct labor costs that support that PMC?
I don't have that right now, but again, you're talking. Not sure how many are in
Can you get that
Just
to us?
for
Yeah.
Tuesday.
I'll get it by Tuesday.
Yeah, just give
Direct
me
I want to
labor,
understand
it's
what, not only just
mostly
the PMC cost, what are our actual costs to run?
yeah. Actually, of course, there's operation and some maintenance. No, and, for example, now, no, regular main. If you see here, there's regular PMC O&M costs and stuff. That O&M costs, most of that now repairs and around plus the PMC.
The 2.6 is inclusive of our direct labor costs to perform
No,
the
no,
O&M?
no, no. This is just the O&M materials or something, but then not the labor. Maybe we have about 15 personnel. 1.5. I'll give you the numbers off the top of my head. So 1.5 times on the average 50. It's another 50 times 5. So yeah.
The burden?
The average cost $50,000 per employee, no? And it's 15,700.
50 people per 4 units.
Yes. Or something like that. Okay. Next item, Mr. Chair, is property insurance. And again, this is a requirement, of course, requirement of the money indenture we did go to London to present and try and bring in more underwriters to again on this contract so that we can keep the rate. We're working not to get it increased, because we are good risk. And in fact, that we did get that. No, however, getting all the parties together has taken some time, and so what we've had to do, and I'll turn it over to John very shortly, is that we've had to try and give us an extension for a month, almost 2 months, as we bridge to get the final. John will also tell you that there's the good news. We are able to get cybersecurity coverage here for $100,000 for $3 million $3 million coverage. No?
Same deductible.
With a $250,000 deductible.
How many pages is it terms and conditions?
Send it to Commissioner Santos.
I don't know if we have that yet,
Yeah, that's the, exactly.
but although I'm
I think it's
hopeful
one paragraph
and,
of what's covered.
I'm hopeful and of course more confident that with everyone that's been coming and working with us in cybersecurity, you know, that we won't ever have to use it, no? But still,
Yes, so what happened was we were only able to get the firm pricing of the insurance costs like 5 days before expiration. So for negotiate purpose, we were able to extend it for 1 month until November 30. However, the PUC would not meet until December 2nd. So we had to ask CCO approval for 2 months because it's over $1.1 million. So once the CC is approved, we extend it until December 31st. And the CC what they call it, catastrophe insurance. Before it used to be $50 million limit. We increased it to $100.
The question I have is, did we file any claims at all?
No, well, the only claim GP has ever claimed was Cabras Rio. Okay, but what happened is when I talked to the other people in the industry, insurance industry, the local market is still very shy from Typhoon Marawa. So, because we portion about percent is local, and it's the local share that will commit cost.
Yeah, you know, Greece is a for the world.
Yes,
And there's
yes.
everybody who has got big insurance policies. They're stuck. They got max money. There's not a lot of people.
Yes,
who want to get coverage.
yes, that is true. And when I talked to the other markets, they said from Guam, they have to go to London. They say the apartment is pretty much fixed. Before it was SGG was the property market. Property market.
it's a little lower than
Prior year.
from this past year. So we were successfully able to keep it.
So do we anticipate this number going down on the next renewal when we decommission, we're gonna take
Yeah.
Cabras down?
Oh,
We're gonna decommission Cabras.
yes, of course. Once we get, because we'll be retiring Cabras 1.
And then you're not insuring Ukidu, right?
They are.
Yeah, they are insured.
We're paying
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
probably shelter.
That's right.
But we are talking about the insurance industry.
Yep.
Bend
That-
over,
that's
bend
where
over further.
that's where my first estate was. I don't know what the insurance is. It's just been the potential for Cabras. It should be. And we did
do you actually
an
have-
estimate on that.
So do you actually have like the breakdown of the premiums per asset, or is it just lump sum?
Yeah. So what we do, we have a total insured value, including everything, the generators, the water, pump, water wells, plus and that asset is about $1.2 billion. From that, what we do is just do a blanket. Right now, it's about $200 million coverage. The reason we do that because the assets are not fully concentrated all over the island, so we're letting individually. Whether insuring $1 billion be a strong dollar amount premium, so amount of loss per location, pretty much. What we do is
Spread that to
yes,
the deductible.
yeah. So we it's $1 million for anything over below $10 million. Anything over $10 million.
Let's get to the good news department instead of talking about the bad insurance companies.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. No other questions. I'll go to Resolution 2025-03. And of course, the CCU is required to file with the GPA and CCU required to file by December 15 of each year. The recommended GLIAC for the period of now February 1st, 2025 to July 31st, 2025. As we know, we have been under recover for many years, like for a long time, it's in of course many years, right? But and as much as 47 million, we are getting closer to recover that. We anticipate we may be recovered, but maybe short 4 million or so by the end of January of this year. However, despite that, the other good news that I come across is, of course, the fuel oil prices have come down, and although they're still not down to where what we were typically used to in the 2021 early period, it's come down from what the average LIA cost of per barrel filing of $116 per barrel and let me see, earlier this year, to close to an average now of about $100 a barrel. In fact, our shipments are coming in now somewhere close even to $95 a barrel. What we were used to before is about $85 a barrel. So still not where it was before, but again, the good news is even the projections are showing that we could average probably around $100 a barrel over the next 6 month period or more.
What
So,
is the recommendation?
so the recommendation, Mr. Chair, is to bring the LIAC down from the current 0.262, to 0.2088, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of
About a 20%.
yeah, on the average, 20% on the LIAC and about average of anywhere between 14 to 15% on across all the rates. John, you want to show the
I saw that. It's in the report.
potential for residential? The reduction is somewhere around 14.8% on the total bill for an average of 1,000 kilowatt hour customer, and of course it goes as much as 15% for some of the larger customers, if you will. So 15.03. I mean, it's just a small deviation, 0.3%. But so that's the
good news.
That's the good news, and again,
As promised.
the beginning of recovering, putting it back, and then producing less, and the fuel prices come down, and that's about 5.5 cents a kilowatt hour, which translates to somewhere around 50 for an average residential, about
$50.
$53.19 a month.
Yeah, if you're using 1,000 kilowatt hours, in our case, like we use 1,500, it'll be about $75 a month. But welcome relief for our ratepayers. It's what we promised. Plus, our rainy day fund has been replenished just in case, because it's been tough, and it's been tough on
and
our.
also money to do those needed projects,
Yep.
revenue-funded projects that you have on the burner.
Yep. As you can see, we've been, the T&D building, the standby generators. We're starting to move out those CIPs that we like to get done.
Yeah, it's been a crazy time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's easy to forget that when COVID hit in March of 2020, we didn't raise the LIAC. We took our rainy day fund and fronted $47 million in fuel costs and kept the LIAC low until we finally got over the COVID pandemic. And then we had to recover that money, and that was very painful. It's been a painful couple of years for all of us. But we said as long as oil prices remain stable, then we have an opportunity to finally drop the LIAC. And it looks like, well, now you're recommending next Tuesday we approve about a 20% reduction in the LIAC, about a 15% reduction in the total bill. And that's going to be welcome relief for all of our ratepayers starting February 1st. So good job.
So
and
it should help really because also because the consumption is starting to come down now. December, January,
The season,
February,
yeah.
March are the lowest period, cooler months plus this. No?
Yeah.
And again, it starts bridging us towards the time we start getting to Kudu. No?
right. And
Plus, John, if you get to the drier months, you get more solar,
Yep.
which you can run the plants at.
The solar the average of the solar today, even though
cheaper than the LIAC still.
20 some cents for
The original.
the guy the
The first
original
one.
first contract, and 8.6 cents for the
Manila.
Manila. It's averaging around 11 cents.
Yeah, yeah.
So they produce more, that will help. And
Continue
they
to-
usually produce more around the early part of the year.
Yeah, so on page 5 of the resolution, which is the LEAC update, the historical LEAC, so you are projecting or estimating by January 31, 2025, that we would have an over recovery of 4.2 mil?
Yes.
Okay. If fuel price remains, so with the reduction in the LEAC from February to, what are you projecting, a flat, meaning you're just cost recovery, or at 0.20? It seems as though you would still have
What we did is we in February with the over recovery, then we do we're gonna have a cost overrun every month offsets the over recovery. By July 31st, we should be zero.
Oh, so the is actually going to be
Because by
Yeah.
January, you get the newest numbers, the latest numbers,
The updated numbers, and
readjust that.
we adjust that based on that under recovery.
Pray for world peace. Yeah, pray for world peace so it doesn't get crazy in the Middle East. Yeah, it's looking good, so knock on wood, but very encouraging. Yeah. There's a guy that's gonna do that.
I won't go through the GM report right now, but Okudu is already over 92% completed. Secondly, we have transferred the diesel fuel now from the storage tank to the two tanks up there. So I think there's
One more
about,
resolution?
yep. So just adding the continuous monitoring system of the diesel engine. So we have catalysts there to keep, as required by US EPA for those machines, and so we also have a contract to again monitor that, because it has to be monitored on a regular basis, and data submitted to Guam EPA. So this is actually a contract. We went out for bid in last year. It was supposed to expire around October, and then we went out very late, so August of last year. We do have a contract that we're in the process to complete and be able to sign in, and we'll be below the $1 million authority. But right now, to get us through December, I need the Commission's ratification, actually, because I did extend it for the short period of time. We need to get to a total of about 1.273 up to December. So, again, the new contract is a 3-year base plus 2 1-year options. Awarded 2024.
How many bids did you get on this?
I think just one. Right?
Just one, right?
Typically just one.
There's only one company that does
TRC, I
this.
believe. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
very niche
Yeah, sure.
monitoring.
And again, this is just for the diesel, Tenjo, Mangnengwan, Talapofo. That's the total of 10 diesels minus 1 which we're retiring, so 9 diesels. That's all.
in the Greco side, they do it self.
I don't think it's required. They have a T4 type of machines, plus also
So they're EPA Tier 4 compliant.
this is up to for urea, but that's already incorporated into their contract and everything.
Does Ukudu have urea? Or is it something different?
It's a good question. I think I was asking myself that question this morning. I think they may still have to have water injection, I believe, or
John, you can let us know by
something.
Tuesday.
I'll let you know by Tuesday.
Ammonia solution or something? And that
To-
helps reduce the emissions, right?
Yeah, certain type
Just like
of
urea.
emission. Yeah.
So Manila can breathe
As far as
even
the
cleaner air.
as far as the sulfur, we comply, but also the carbon outside and all of that. That's why we cannot run this machine on simple cycle throughout the year. Can only, and that's why we need all these standby generators once every 4 years when they overhaul the steam turbine for about 30 days. Only under the steam turbine, under the combined cycle operation, does it give you keeps you below the emission required for the minor source. So that's the 4 resolutions I have for consideration on Tuesday. I can just summarize my AGM report. Basically, really the most important part is the okudo. Like you mentioned, we're over 92% completed, and 92.2% completed. The tanks, for the storage tanks, the dike has been completed, and we have over latest last week put about a foot and a half of oil into each tank. So today they'll start pumping continuously and to get it up. So I think we're gonna, I don't have the exact number, but we'll be probably putting around 30,000 barrels up there, and that's what they'll start up with, flushing the system, and then flushing the system, everything, preparing it, and eventually, at some point, they'll be ready to fire the first combustion turbine. Start their testing. So,
Once you start putting oil in those tanks, take some of that fuel to jet it or one.
not yet, because we still have to put in the gantry. And I think that may be right after the completion of Okudo, I think is when the gantry. Yeah, somewhere probably at the end of next year. Yeah. No, I'll have to double check when that's scheduled. The key is to get the whole power plant.
You mentioned that.
Yeah, we should go before
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more the scheduling of the commission, and I think we'll work. We say we can get everybody when they may want
Give
to.
us this one we can go.
And I think we narrowed some dates down, right? In December. Yeah. So yeah, we have some dates that we can offer. And again, part of that is your team being available to to show us around.
We gotta.
Yeah, no, you'll be quite controlling the area, and there won't be construction in the area. You'll be
The fuel gantry has bottom loading, not just so that it can accommodate like.
I don't know the details yet. I'll
Because
get
you had mentioned about having commercials or even GPA northern.
Yeah. Right now we use all commercial haulers that having GPA do it. That's something we're evaluating, including of course buying the tanker trucks and getting our drivers certified and all of that. No?
Yep.
But what we can see is that the trucking or costs will go down, no? Because they're closer. And then secondly, the volume is not going to be as much as today.
We'll take a heavier load.
Today there's so many tankers running up and down, and again that's what's part of our fuel costs today. No? So, but once you fill up tanks and one time you need to be there for more tankers is once every 3 years when you do an inspection of the steam turbine. That's when you run for. You don't run everything 30 days. No? You run because you still solar data and plus others. So it's just you need them for peaking. We're not paying any more depth service on it, all of that, and we still have to fix it if we're going to keep it for the long run. And actually, we've done a lot. That you recall, seen some of the. We spent about 21 million in. It's right in front of me. About 13 million in CIP over the past 5 years for the combustion turbines and
It's
other
not that
stuff.
much.
Huh?
Actually not good.
To be able to keep them running in the way they are, and some of that is big hours. Depending we put a new section is going to last for less reuse in the future.
Any other highlights?
No, we're still working on the contracts for the two phase 4. We're trying to get we're trying to get it to the PUC. But they have a December 2nd meeting. If we don't get a contract by then it's gonna have to be January or so.
Well,
yeah.
hopefully you get everything locked down.
Yep. Trying to get it, but
Because those, even the two that we've got approval on already,
that's
it'll
180.
take you a couple of years.
Yeah, it'll take about 2 years or so. So right now we're looking at 2020 or early 2020. Yeah. The PUC negotiated.
All the other stuff.
Yeah, and early next year I'll be coming to you with batteries. That's the next step. Well, I have between now. I think I have between now and January to be very creative. No, but the
Well, it's
key.
the planning process.
Yeah.
Who pays for it?
Yeah.
That's the question to be answered.
No, there's
But
some.
it's just the planning process.
If we're not paying for it, makes planning easy.
No, but what I
Those
mean
are our
is-
favorite plans.
No, but there's two things of it, just for heads up for the commission in early next year, right? Two things I'm really looking on. One is the battery, and yes, how do we pay for it and all of that, right? And then secondly, also bringing in a PMO to assist engineering in the planning and design and different things of the underground systems, the battery systems, and everything. Because we don't see of that now in engineering, right? But in terms of potentially all of this. And I'd like to find out which makes the best block in the distribution and transmission to the water wells and the major customers in the area. So we started with the compost system, right? We began a process, and then of course we didn't have much assistance from anybody else. Then we went through that at the time of 20 to 30 years. So similarly, everyone we've gone through, we've asked for 11 billion, and so hopefully something comes through. However, we need to,
But you need to do the planning.
planning. We don't want to say, we really don't want to. Not that I mind. I don't mind them saying tomorrow, here's $3 billion, go get something done.
Yeah.
But as you know, we like to hear, so that as soon as they go,
You say, you got the plans.
to be the case, and then hopefully we get into the batteries, which is another top priority of ours, and then also into the underground system. And again, the whole island, we can do it in even the whole island in 10, 15 years. It probably take a little longer.
It's going to be a very different island.
Yeah,
in 10
but
or
at
15
least you get the
Chew your
key projects, what makes the most bang, so that you can serve the most people and keep the water, wastewater, communications, medical facilities, and other communication facilities operating.
John, listen, no more wooden poles except for the GPA. That's referring to poles.
About GPA taking over the distribution system of
Within the base.
within the bases.
You should keep that wooden
We
pole
should.
thing.
Yeah, they're chasing $12 billion to rebuild both bases internally because they both got beat up.
Cost, if you look at what is our distribution cost today, it's about 4 cents a kilowatt hour. Yeah? There's certainly, it's not gonna cost GPA much more to site teams up there in the north and in the south